What up, fully? Yeah, yeah. Hello, Wagwan. Yeah. I came from a land. It have many water, many great sons and many daughters. And we have the land, yo, where many ask for. We never see Katrina, nah, those disaster. I feel nice, we come from the golden city. Girl born in gold dust, so we show them pretty. The man full of faith, me nah know none must slippy. Guyana, me say big up on no city. Cause this is the dear land of the free, land of the many waters, resources and trees, land of the rivers and seas. I proud, Phoebe, Guyanese, land of the Amerindians, the Africans, the East Indians, and Portuguese, not to mention the Europeans and the Chinese. Them feel blessed from Guyana, this breeze. Cause enough people tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that is. That is the last city of El Dorado in the world. That is the land where we live. Land of the biggest one-drop falls. Plus we have the longest floating bridge. We from South America, some say the Caribbean, but still a thanks we a give. Alright, 1, 2, mic check. View from gravity, are the nicest. Match time, my city. Are the hypest, we see them gyal wine up in a some liquor tight dress. We are hustle from morning till night catch. Them finno Guyanese, get a youth not like rest. House and car, them finno we like press. Check the bank line them. We not like check. We got gold and diamond, them think priceless. Timber bauxite, then check the aisle next. GDF, Miami is the finest. I mean I talk about the sugar, nah the rice yet. So I'm Marshall, I drop the Guyanese bomb. For feed the nation, that's the Guyanese plan. Big up a kilo, them with them Guyanese land. Guyana, that's where them Guyanese from. People tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that is. That is the last city of El Dorado in the world. That is the land where we live. Land of the biggest one-drop falls. Plus we have the longest floating bridge. We from South America, some say the Caribbean, but still at times we a give. I came from a land, it have many water, many great sons and many daughters. Is we have the land, what many ask for, we never see Katrina or nah, those disaster. I feel nice, we come from the golden city. Girl born in gold dust, so we show them pretty. The man full of faith, we nah know none must slippy. Guyana, we say big up on no city. Enough people tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that is. That is the world, that is the land where we live. Land of the biggest one-drop falls. Plus we have the longest floating bridge. We from South America, some say the Caribbean, but still a thanks we a give. Hello, Wagwan. I the nuclear family, hey master, what up fully? A one-time records, a 592, we think that. Hello, Wagwan.
Hey yo, my G, where you from?
Guyana.
Ghana?
No, Guyana.
What up, fully?
Yeah, yeah. Hello, Wagwan. Yeah. I came from a land. It have many water, many great sons and many daughters. And we have the land, yo, where many ask for. We never see Katrina, nah, those disaster. I feel nice, we come from the golden city. Girl born in gold dust, so we show them pretty. The man full of faith, me nah know none must slippy. Guyana, me say big up on no city. Cause this is the dear land of the free, land of the many waters, resources and trees, land of the rivers and seas. I proud, Phoebe, Guyanese, land of the Amerindians, the Africans, the East Indians, and Portuguese, not to mention the Europeans and the Chinese. Them feel blessed from Guyana, this breeze. Cause enough people tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that is. That is the last city of El Dorado in the world. That is the land where we live. Land of the biggest one-drop falls. Plus we have the longest floating bridge. We from South America, some say the Caribbean, but still a thanks we a give. Alright, 1, 2, mic check. View from gravity, are the nicest. Match time, my city. Are the hypest, we see them gyal wine up in a some liquor tight dress. We are hustle from morning till night catch. Them finno Guyanese, get a youth not like rest. House and car, them finno we like press. Check the bank line them. We not like check. We got gold and diamond, them think priceless. Timber bauxite, then check the aisle next. GDF, Miami is the finest. I mean I talk about the sugar, nah the rice yet. So I'm Marshall, I drop the Guyanese bomb. For feed the nation, that's the Guyanese plan. Big up a kilo, them with them Guyanese land. Guyana, that's where them Guyanese from. People tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that is. That is the last city of El Dorado in the world. That is the land where we live. Land of the biggest one-drop falls. Plus we have the longest floating bridge. We from South America, some say the Caribbean, but still at times we a give. I came from a land, it have many water, many great sons and many daughters. Is we have the land, what many ask for, we never see Katrina or none of those disasters. I feel nice, we come from the golden city, girl born in gold dust, so we sure them pretty. The man full of faith, we don't know none was slippy. Guyana, we say big up on the city. Enough people tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that is. That is the last city of El Dorado in the world. That is the land where we live. Land of the biggest one drop falls. Plus we have the longest floating bridge. We from South America, some say the Caribbean, but still a thanks we a give. Hello, Wagwan. I the nuclear family, hey master one up fully. A one-time records, a 592, we think that. Hello, Wagwan.
Hey yo, my G, where you from?
Guyana.
Ghana?
No, Guyana. Yeah. Hello, Wagwan. Yeah. I came from a land, it have many water, many great sons and many daughters. And we have the land, yo, where many ask for, we never see Katrina, nah, those disasters. I feel nice, we come from the golden city, girl born in gold dust, so we sure them pretty. The man full of faith, we don't know none was slippy. Guyana, me say big up on no city. Cause this is the dear land of the free, land of the many waters, resources and trees, land of the rivers and seas. I proud, Phoebe, Guyanese, land of the Amerindians, the Africans, the East Indians, and Portuguese, not to mention the Europeans and the Chinese. Them feel blessed from Guyana, this breeze. Cause enough people tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that is. That is the last city of El Dorado in the world. That is the land where we live. Land of the biggest one drop falls. Plus we have the longest floating bridge. We from South America, some say the Caribbean, but still a thanks we a give. Alright, 1, 2, mic check. View from gravity, are the nicest. Match time, my city. Are the hypest, we see them gyal wind up in a some liquor tight dress. We are hustle from morning till night catch. Them finno Guyanese, not like rest. House and car, them finno we like press. Check the bank line, them. We not like check. We got gold and diamond, them think priceless. Timber, bauxite, then check the aisle next. GDF, Miami is the finest. I mean I talk about the sugar, nor the rice yet. So a Marshall, I drop the Guyanese bomb. For feed the nation, that's the Guyanese plan. Big up a kilo, them with them Guyanese land. Guyana, that's where them Guyanese from. People tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that is. That is the last city of El Dorado in the world. That is the land where we live. Land of the biggest one drop falls. Plus we have the longest floating bridge. We from South America, some say the Caribbean, but still a thanks we a give. I came from a land, it have many water, many great sons and many daughters. Is we have the land, what many ask for, we never see Katrina or none of those disasters. I feel nice, we come from the golden city, girl born in gold dust, so we sure them pretty. The man full of faith, we don't know none was slippy. Guyana, we say big up on the city. Enough people tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that is. That is the last city of El Dorado in the world. That is the land where we live. Land of the biggest one drop falls. Plus we have the longest floating bridge. We from South America, some say the Caribbean, but still a thanks we a give. Hello, Wagwan. I the nuclear family, hey master one up fully. A one-time records, a 592, we think that. Hello, Wagwan.
Hey yo, my G, where you from?
Guyana.
Ghana?
No, Guyana. Yeah. Hello, Wagwan. Yeah. I came from a land, it have many water, many great sons and many daughters. And we have the land, yo, where many ask for, we never see Katrina, nah, those disasters. I feel nice, we come from the golden city, girl born in gold dust, so we sure them pretty. The man full of faith, me nah know none was slippy. Guyana, me say big up on no city. Cause this is the dear land of the free, land of the many waters, resources and trees, land of the rivers and seas. I proud, Phoebe, Guyanese, land of the Amerindians, the Africans, the East Indians, and Portuguese, not to mention the Europeans and the Chinese. Them feel blessed from Guyana, this breeze. Cause enough people tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that is. That is the last city of El Dorado in the world. That is the land where we live. Land of the biggest one drop falls. Plus we have the longest floating bridge. We from South America, some say the Caribbean, but still a thanks we a give. Alright, 1, 2, my check. View from gravity, are the nicest. Match time, my city. Are the hypest. We see them gyal wine up in a some liquor tight dress. We are hustle from morning till night. Catch them finno Guyanese. Get a youth not like rest. House and car, them finno we like press. Check the bank line them. We not like check. We got gold and diamond, them thing priceless. Timber bauxite, then check the aisle next. GDF, Miami is the finest. I mean I talk about the sugar, not the rice yet. So I'm Marshall, I drop the Guyanese bomb. For feed the nation, that's the Guyanese plan. Big up a kilo, them with them Guyanese and Guyana. That's where them Guyanese from. People tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that is. That is the last city of El Dorado in the world. That is the land where we live. Land of the biggest one drop falls. Plus we have the longest floating bridge. We from South America, some say the Caribbean, but still at times we again. I came from a land, it have many water, many great sons and many daughter. Is we have the land, what many ask for, we never see Katrina or none of those disasters. I feel.
Wake up, the day is bright, and feel the blue. Turn your dial for your vibe, we're ready to go. With Courdel Jones, you know it's gonna be real. From 8 to 9, bringing vibes you can feel. News, views, and what's hot today will keep you wide in every way. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Wake up, the day is bright, time to feel the flow. Turn your dial to Livewire, we're ready to go. With Courdel Jones, you know it's gonna be real. From 8 to 9, from 8 to 9, bringing vibes you can feel. News, views, and what's hot today will keep you wired in every way. We'll keep you wired every way, in every way. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Stories that matter, we got the scoop. From the latest headlines to the local truth. It's your community, your voice, your power. Livewire hits you every hour. So grab your coffee, your tea, your toast. With Courdel Jones, we'll give you the most. Livewire, we'll give you the way. Running to the energy, the beat of the street, the show that connects. It's where people meet. We're wired to your world, we got the news. On Livewire, there's nothing to lose. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Stories that matter, we got the scoop. From the latest headlines to the local truth. It's your community, your voice, your power. Livewire hits you every hour. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. It's your community, your voice, your power. Livewire hits you every hour.
Good morning and welcome to another episode of Livewire with yours truly. Happy to be here with you. It's the 11th of December, 2025, and it's going to be an interesting show today. Got a couple of things for us to discuss. You understand? Nevertheless, morning to the persons joining us across the 10 administrative regions. Morning to the persons joining us across the diaspora. Special good morning to the persons in the comment section. Thank you for your continued support. And do remember to please share the live. If you're new to Livewire, please follow the pages on Facebook or subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep up to date with things in and around Guyana, things Guyanese. Right? Yesterday was an interesting day. Yesterday was an interesting. So many things happened yesterday. So we had the court ruling on the constitutional issues in relation to the Mohammed's matter. Also, I get myself involved in some worries I don't even know. But let me start with that. So, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. Some persons were sending me some screen grabs. So just as I saw the comment made by Mohammed Morsaleen alleging stuff about me, saying stuff about me, I trying to walk a thin line here. Making claims that political figures and myself are involved, male political figures and myself are involved in some sort of foolishness, right? Credible information came to me about Mr. Morsaleen that proved that the allegations he was making against me were more akin to him. Anyway, I didn't judge him, but I'm just saying, why are you attacking somebody about something that you have no factual information about when you know you live your lifestyle? Right? Thing. Me and Lashley had a little back and forth. And what is it with this thing? If a man decides to defend himself in relation to misinformation from certain quarters, automatically people label him an anti-man. So in person's view, a man should just sit back and allow whatever is said about him to be perpetuated out there. I don't think so. Anyway, I went about my day doing my thing. Another screen grab comes to me of a post by Guyanese Villain, right? And I'll take you to the page to show you exactly what. Actually, I shared it to my page. I ain't got to take y'all there. I shared it to my page. So this guy made several racial posts, and mind you, he's an Afro-Guyanese as well. He called me Uncle Ruckus and put a bunch of stuff in there. Secondly, never met me, don't know him personally. We never had a conversation, a Facebook chat, nothing. I sent him a message last night. But that was about it. Anyway, so he attacks me on social media. I think I shared it. And then I got some more calls, which gave me some information about him from very, very credible sources. So I released the information. He takes offense and decides he wants to have a war with me. Now, when I posted the upsetter to the Guyanese Villain, another member of the LGBTQ community, like the Guyanese Villain, was posted there as well. Again, I've never spoken to Judge Shishi until last night. Never had an interaction, never met her in person, never looked at one of her lives. Well, I don't know what's the correct term to use, but never look at any of the lives or anything, right? Anyway, a few persons sent me a post made by her, something about 40 days and 40 nights and this kind of thing. Mind you, the 40 days and 40 nights is a term that is used by the Guyanese Villain. Judge Shishi is a member of the LGBTQ community who is out there and represents what Judge Shishi believes in. You understand? My point is, if you are taking a certain line, walk the line. Again, I say yesterday, I have friends who are of that nature and be fine. Anyway, so after I saw the post that Judge Shishi made, I decided to make a Facebook call to her, well, to Judge Shishi last night. And I said, listen, I don't have a problem with you. This guy would have attacked me on Facebook. I would have responded due to several persons calling me and telling me about a live you did, Judge Shishi did, speaking on the young man and whatever stuff. You understand? Judge Shishi said to me she understood the post. It's not an issue. She understands what's going on, whatever. I'm not going to go into all the details of the conversation, but if that time comes, we can. Anyway, I said to Judge Shishi, I'll go and look at your live because I didn't even know you had a live. I don't really follow you on social media, whatever. I went to look at the live. On the live now, Judge Shishi doesn't tell me that on that live, Judge Shishi would have made several allegations. Allegations that apparently I'm a part of the LGBTQ society and I'm just attacking another member. And she has some files that she can read and put out there. This morning, well, before I get ahead of myself, after I had the conversation with Judge Shishi, I looked at the live, I heard what was said, I called her back. Well, I called Judge Shishi back. To say, man, that's not the conversation we just had. I see that you basically locked me into a group with y'all. She didn't answer. Judge Shishi did not answer. I called twice last night after the first call where we actually spoke. After the call was not answered, I noticed, and I'm pretty sure Judge Shishi is watching here. I noticed the page Judge Shishi here followed me on Facebook. So I know that Judge Shishi was up. Nevertheless, that's why I cleaned myself up, Reynard. That's why I'm adjusted as a mistake I'm making. Anyway, so the long story short is this. Judge Shishi, you would have said you understand what I was thinking. Me and Guyanese villain got to your own issue. However, you would have given the impression that you may have some sort of evidence, some sort of information that would expose me as a member of your team. Well, you and the Guyanese villain team. And you have requested that I take down the photo. I'm saying I'm not taking down the photo. Right? I'm asking you to release, you understand? Release all the information that you have. Read the file, photocopy it, screen grab it, post it on Facebook. Any information you have in relation to that. I'm not removing the photo. Plain and simple. The photo staying there until you produce the information that are my membership card to the society. You maybe say, all of us are one, as you said. Right? So, please produce the information. I have my information here that I could corroborate everything that I would have said this morning. You asked me to remove the photo in a comment under my post, and I answered you under that. Release the file. Any photo, video, or information, or anybody who said, the claim on Courdel or Courdel claim on them, and they're willing to come out publicly and say, bring them on the line. Let me see who, where, when, what happened. Right? So that's that. I'm done with that. Here, my viewers tell me, man, don't follow this up. So I will not post anything else in relation to the Guyanese villain. And again, I have no reason to post anything about Judge Shishi. Right? If I'm a part of the society, as you said, and the file you have there and you were ready to reel it out last night, I am begging you. Matter of fact, I don't want to stop taunting you because it can seem like we got a confrontation, which we don't. However, I'm saying, please post the information. Please make it public. Just like how I usually say, person shouldn't be hopping the fence because you're playing with the emotions of these women, especially the men who back and forth, back and forth. If you take a line, hold your line and walk your line. You understand? Hold your line and walk your line. But that's all I got to say on that matter. As you guys know, the case with the Mohammeds in relation to the constitutional issues were thrown out by Justice Principal Magistrate Judy Lachman, and the case in relation to the extradition continues on January right? On January 6th. So that's all I'm going to touch on the court case. They had a bunch of complicated arguments put forward there that I won't waste your time with. Trying to let you guys understand. Y'all tag Judge in the live so Judge could hear what's said. Anyway, so there was a protest outside. There was a protest outside of Parliament yesterday by Team Win. And one more thing. The Guyanese villain said I'm obsessed with one man. Sir, you went through my photos, post. You've seen how long I'm in the profession. This is what I do professionally. This is my job. White persons acting like this is not my job. I am not a random person on the road who going around doing activism. This is what's due. Anyway, so like I said, that a protest outside Parliament yesterday. And just like at the swearing in of the members of Parliament, we got some juicy information from the Win camp. Information that we did not have before. Right? This is crazy. Pick up yourself with Safa Anderson. So let's take a little listen quick.
Deleted. Until GCOM representative came out and said they are the only people to declare the results.
But that's not true. But GCOM officials said nothing out of the way there. It is known. Like in the Dothraki, it is known. GCOM is the only agency allowed to declare who win the elections. Right? Now, nobody disputed that Mohammed won Region 10 and Region 7. Nobody disputed. All I'm saying to you is, ma'am, you understand that Region 4 is the largest region well, not the largest region, but the most populated region in this country. And Region 4 was the region that was concluded last before the recount that they had. So if Region 10 start counting, they polls close at 6. They ain't got much persons at the polling station, so they come. More so the fact that we know we had low voter turnout, right? They start counting the numbers coming in from Region 10 will definitely show Mohammed's in the lead. If you add that with the numbers from Region 7, it will definitely show Mohammed's in the lead. But outside of Region 10 and 7, you got 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You take that into consideration. And I want to know how people just would advance such an argument without thinking about it for us. What are you saying?
GCOM representative came out and said they are the only people to declare the results. And we accept up to date, they haven't been declared the results.
What? What? Now, I don't know who recorded this live. But this is why I got a problem with some media houses. I don't know if this is a somebody's personal life or this is from a media house or if media houses were there whilst this woman was talking. My point is, nobody in jumping and say, friend, what are you talking about? What do you mean they had no declaration? What? What?
How to declare the results. And we accept up to date, they haven't been
Up to today's date, or yesterday was the 10th. Up to yesterday, this lady saying we had no declaration. What we need to understand that there may be, well, we know there are many other Guyanese like this, because most of them are when there something got around. But we must look at how our Guyanese people reason things. And we might need to nip it in the bud in school, reasoning skills, picking sense from nonsense. Right? We might have to. Oh, let's check it. Right? We might Minister Pratt may need to add reasoning to the syllabus.
declare the result. How the Ensong government has declared it and wasn't them declared it.
What? What?
And wasn't.
Listen to the section. How they install government when they didn't declare it? This
Government has declared it and wasn't them declared. How the Ensong government has declared it and wasn't them declared.
What? What? I hope the persons who say I only jump on Afro Guyanese see this is the Indo Guyanese, right? All the people them. What? Auntie, what? You serious? Nah, man. Right? Nah, man. You can't be serious. What is it she just said there? So,
But no evidence of the SOPs.
Listen, say what you want about the PNC. I will say what I want about the PNC. You say what you want about the PNC. This is a new level of mediocrity coming from the opposition. And I dare say, I don't think the PNC was ever this bad. They had some delusional followers. But, you understand? They had some delusional followers, but this is on another level. This isn't talking about sanction and court and thing that's still to be determined. This is a matter, as in the words of Principal Magistrate Judy Lachman, it has been laid to rest. How are you trying to resurrect it now?
No, I'm not talking about the original, about the original SOPs that were
That GCOM have?
signed by the polling staff and verified by the POs.
This lady's
Not the SOPs that they created.
Listen, To tell you all the truth, this is the first time I'm actually looking out at the whole video. After I heard the first section, I stopped and I started to download it to play it. I didn't look at it online. Right? I downloaded it, posted it, and I didn't look at it to the end.
The original. We are sick and we are tired. We are sick and we are tired of this foolishness. We are sick and tired. I don't care if y'all come after me. I don't have nothing. Y'all can't sue me because I have nothing.
You know, when people sue you, you got nothing to make up the thing that might put you in jail because you got nothing to compensate the person.
I have nothing. Exactly.
Anyway, next on the list. And in this case here now, the video we're going to look at, again, I say on this show several times, there are persons in the diaspora that put information out that may not be aware of all the facts or have all the information. And then I honestly feel there are persons who represent a certain line or side of the aisle that would put information out blatantly that they know is false. I believe this lady to be one of them, right? And we just can check on 2 posts that she recently made. I don't really, like, I think so 2 times I call her out for her foolishness. But
good night. How come it is that the Guyana government is fighting Mohammed for money?
A treaty, a treaty and the taxes, the treaty. The taxes that the goal is Guyanese goal. The taxes weren't paid. He broke the laws here and abroad. That's how come.
And they're going the distance. They want to get rid of Mohammed. They team up with America. They're paying lawyers from Jamaica to come to Guyana.
All part of the treaty. It states who pays to the lawyers, whatnot, all this other stuff, all outlined in the treaty.
Fight Mohammed because Mohammed owe money. What about Guyanese critic?
What about Guyanese critic? What about Guyanese critic? Talk to us about Guyanese critic.
Critic owe the Guyana government 120-something million Guyana.
How critical Guyana government 120-something million Guyana dollars? And this is the thing that has fret me with some people in the diaspora. This lady talking with such confidence. Right? Courdel, you can put up the contract that Mohammed got. I don't know. I don't have access to the contract. Right? Shafiq, I don't have access to the contract. Because it's my program, Mohammed. Anyway, so like I was saying, some people in the diaspora put out these things. And I'm like, what?
Dollars, right? How come it is that critic is not being called up in court to
because critic didn't break no law. Jesus Christ. And just to show you, they have no understanding of the procurement system or the system in Guyana. Critic won a contract. Right? You don't just terminate a government contract like that and collect back the money. It doesn't work like that. Right? The contracts cater for delays. Whether it is that the government charges the company every day that they delay the work over the time that is specified, all of that is in the contract. So, what did critics steal? What did critics smuggle? What taxes did critics evade? Critics' main offense in that Bellevue project would be missing timelines. Right? So if the contract said in 8 weeks, you're supposed to there at this point to this point, yes. Guys, I ain't taking calls this morning, right? Sorry. I ain't taking calls this morning. No. Yeah. You understand what I'm talking about? You will put this information out there, like critic rob some ministry or stick up some government transfer money transfer. Was it the man won a contract? He's executing the contract. He may fail the timelines, but the contract has penalties to that. So what are you talking about?
Find this money that he took and robbed.
He didn't take anything. The advance was given to him because he won the contract. This is not true either. Critic failed to deliver on the contract and it was taken away from him. No, it was not. No, it was. That is not how the system works. You can't just, oh, you collect the contract and give it to somebody. It has to go through a process. You understand? So you might be seeing, I think it's Geico or something out there, but they, critic, the PUI group would have most likely subcontracted the contract to Geico to finish it. Right? Whether he equipment busy anywhere else or wherever it is, subcontracted to a company. So Geico is basically working for Tupui. Come on, man. This lady. Dogs is hollering all the time. Jesus. Anyway. Now is the end part.
From the Guyana government. Guyanese, home and abroad. I want y'all just answer me this simple question. Who bugger?
That's my issue. Was it about these opposition people that every little thing buggery that's commented? What is this obsession with buggery? You understand? Was this thing like, was it any little thing? You're hearing somebody, some sort of buggery involved, right? What is going on? Anyway, I can continue with this. This other video is the one that I really have a problem with, because again, serious misinformation. And for persons who don't take the time to go and check or look, Osafa, you is trouble. Anyway, let me go to this one. Look at this here.
Chinese home and abroad. Good night. Blessings to you guys. Let's just have a quick chat. You know that in Guyana right now, they have this big court case with Azadin Mohammed and his father. And the American government, want Azadin Mohammed and his dad to go to America to try this case in Miami. Okay. But Guyanese, are you aware that Guyana, right? British Guyana, our Guyana, whatever Guyana you want to call it. For people who don't know what Guyana I'm talking about Guyana in the South America, next to Venezuela and, Barbados, Trinidad, Brazil, and all these countries, Suriname, French Guyana, good. That Guyana I'm talking about, the English-speaking South America country I'm talking about. Now, we don't have an extradition treaty with America.
Yes, we do.
So, why is it that we have...
Yes, we do. Could you believe it? Could you believe it? This lady just said, we got no extradition treaty with the United States. Ma'am, the literal name of the treaty is extradition treaty between the government of the United States and the government of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. Literally, that's the name of the treaty. How these people just get all these thousands and thousands of followers and putting out BS information? Or is it that people just like foolishness? I think her name is Grumble. Miss Grumble, the treaty was signed on August 24, 1931, when Guyana was still British Guyana. Just a second. Sorry about that. I had to take that call. Right? What are you talking about? So again, Miss Grumble, August 24, 1931. That is when it was signed. It was a few years later, on the 8th of January, 1935. The treaty, the extradition treaty between the government of the United States and the government of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana continued to be enforced after the independence of Guyana. So, Miss Grumble, you seem to be a big lady, but I don't think you're aware of history. When Guyana became independent in 1966, it inherited, under succession of states, the treaty obligations of British Guyana unless expressly revoked. Miss Grumble, Guyana under Burnham, Guyana under President Jagan, President Hyde, President Janet Jagan, President Sam Hines, whoever, Granger, President Jack Dew, Ramotar, President, nobody has expressly revoked the treaty. So, Ms. Grumble, because it was not revoked, it automatically remains in force. So, as of today, the 11th of December, that treaty is fully enforced, legally binding, and used regularly in modern extradition cases. Now, the treaty operates alongside the Fugitive Offenders Act, right? And extradition requests are processed through the Minister of Home Affairs and the Magistrates Court, subject to certain constitutional protections, which Mohammed is going through right now. I wanted to share that with people today because persons like Ms. Grumble here, I don't think they have any high moral values. This lady has a reasonable following. And she will go and sit there and outright lie to them. Outright lie to them Guyana got no extradition treaty. I understand that persons in the diaspora, whether they would have given up their citizenship here in Guyana, they'll always be Guyanese. But there are some of them over there that decided not to stay here and remain in the fight for betterment. They decided to go and seek a better life elsewhere. And I'm not judging anyone, that is their entitlement. You feel you can make it somewhere else, you went there and you make it. But if you are not aware of what's going on in Guyana, you're not taking the time to come back and see for yourself. You understand? You're basing what you say on what you hear from persons who have an agenda. Right? The information you put out ain't gonna make no sense. I'm begging y'all, come home and see for yourself. Come home and see for yourself. I would like to know, where are all these Guyanese that so hungry and can't make it by day to day? I'm not saying things aren't, what's the right term to use? The economy might not be at its best. And we understand that that is due to outside influences. But we also have some influences here. We have persons in the commercial sector that would raise their prices just because they hear a cash grant is being delivered. Right? So, if you remember, the president was in Borbice, and an elderly woman got up and said, Mr. President, talk to these people, because as soon as you give us the money, they just raise the price and take it back. So really and truly, we as Guyanese might be our own worst enemy, because despite what the government do, the economy a little hard, you got the cost of importation gone up and the government trying to cushion it. But no matter what they do, Guyanese, not all, some Guyanese business persons, some entrepreneurs, some small business people, all they're concerned about is their bottom line. They're looking to make more money. So, the elderly people got $50,000 more to spend? Okay. All the products gone up by $100 or $200 or how much ever they decide to do it. Right? The bus people, people getting cash grant, or they get a salary increase or something, give out that money circulate a little more. You want $200 a share drop, and the gas pricing gone up. Regular thing. I don't really follow the auto industry. So they may say, the parts of the vehicle gone up. That may be so. But at the end of the day, you don't change a brake pad every week. You ain't buying a new tire every week. You ain't overhauling an engine every week. You understand? You ain't redoing your transmission every week. Let's be realistic. So it may be a case that some of the troubles that we have, we may be causing them on ourselves. I guarantee you, whenever the government pays out the cash grant, check the prices in the market. Pumpkin, literally a thing or a vegetable that you don't have to care or do nothing. You don't gotta weed the place. If you just take a handful of pumpkin seed and just shy it, in a month or two, you got pumpkin growing there. You don't got weed, nothing. Through the bush, everything growing. What reason you could tell me for a vendor to sell a slice of pumpkin for $1,000 or $1,300? On what grounds? Pumpkin, unless you want to, you don't got put no fertilizer, you don't got water it, nothing. Just left it. Left it. It can grow. You understand? On what grounds you could charge somebody $1,000 for a slice of pumpkin or $600 a slice of pumpkin? Absolutely absurd. Absolutely absurd. Right? So, those are some issues we need to address. How Guyanese operate with other Guyanese. You understand? How Guyanese operate with other Guyanese. I see the effort the government is making. And I'll be the first to tell you that everything is not perfect. But that is the case in any organization, in any household, in any other country, in any other thing you're thinking about. Right? There's no perfect system. But we continue to see an effort by the administration to make things better. Chinese would stop trying to find the problem and focus on solutions. I saw a guy, Tech J or something like that, making a video on a video that, what's this guy name? Not Leon Sal. Leon Sicharan. Wait, look, Uncle Ron said he placed a pumpkin last week in the States. Why pumpkin in the States and in Guyana costing the same price? Make it make sense. Look, y'all think I lying? Look. Let me take this lady off the screen. That's in the United States of America. On what grounds we in Guyana here paying the price the Americans paying for pumpkin? Right? J-Tech. Thanks. Right? Why in heaven's name are we paying that price? On what grounds? We got land all over. Like I said, pumpkin is the thing that just grow. Grow. Anyway, that aside. Leon Susaran, thank you for the correction. So J-Tech was commenting on a video made by Leon Susaran talking about people and the cash grant and these kinds of things. So he was basically saying, look, I can't remember if he said he wish or we wish as Guyanese, but there was a wish that Guyanese had a place to go to get rice, a little flour, a little subsistence every month. Right? And he's like, the government should give free housing, and the government should do some sort of apartment situation where you rent it from them at a subsidized cost or something like that. My point is this. If you go country by country and you look at the things that J-Tech is suggesting that the government does, I don't know any country that giving away land free to the citizens to go and build homes. I don't know of any. There may be. So I'm asking for J-Tech to give examples of countries that are employing the things that he's employing or suggesting. Right? All across the Caribbean, I've been to several islands in the Caribbean. I have never heard of the government the government giving free house lot to people. Yes, in the States there is welfare, not disability. I think unemployment benefits or something you get, right? Unemployment benefits. So he made known that under some chapter 8 in the States, if you can't pay rent, the government gonna pay half your rent. Jay, they got a 400-year jump start on we. You understand? And he spoke about housing not being affordable. You may be applying for a house that's out of your bracket. They had a house that's selling for going up from the beginning. Houses were selling for 90,000, 200,000, and varying sizes, 300,000, 500,000. You understand? Section 8, not chapter 8, sorry, section 8. Does Jay understand that house lots in Guyana, if you have a low income or a middle income house lot, is between $90,000 and $500,000. So for 2,500 US dollars, which is less than the salary of most Americans, 2,500 US dollars. And mind you, in America, there are places renting for $1,600 and them kind of thing. So for 2,500 US in Guyana, and look, people saying here, it's only if you lose your job. Only if you lose your job. That's what somebody's saying. I don't know the facts about it, right? But my point is, I don't know what's the average salary in America. Anybody, Uncle Ron, please put in the comments, or anybody who is in the United States, what's the minimum wage right now, monthly wage? And whilst they do that, I'll move on. So I'm saying for $2,500, you could have a piece of land to call your own. When you buy that land, you can now 15. No. And then accumulated over the month, your monthly salary, what it all comes up to. A month, not by the year, a month. Okay, well, by the year, I could just divide it by 12. Hold on. So the average salary monthly, if an American is making $40,000 a year, is about $3,300. Right? If I'm wrong, anybody come in the comments. If you're making about $40,000 a year, you're making about $3,300 a month, right? In Guyana, you could buy a house lot with that money and have change. You understand? And look, people saying some people getting $20 or $50 an hour. Me know where they working. You understand? But you get where I'm coming from? So this is my old math teacher. 2,400 a month. Gross take home is 1,900. Okay, fine. Let me readjust with the figures he just gave us. So I said $2,500 for a house lot. You could save and accomplish though in Guyana. How much a house lot? How much a house lot in America? So I don't understand how people like to compare what happens in America to what happens in Guyana. Whilst they are big and fancy and advanced, some of the things like home ownership, land ownership, is much cheaper here. Right? Look, somebody saying a 1-bedroom is 900 US. 900 US. In Guyana, you can save and accomplish owning a house. When you get the house lot, you can then apply to housing for assistance to get steel and cement to do your foundation to move the process forward. Which other Caribbean country doing the right now? Which other country doing the right now? Which other country, the price of house lots of a similar size are that low? And look, J-Tech, again, misleading people. So here somebody says, to be entitled for unemployment benefits, one has to contribute to unemployment insurance, just like you contribute to NIS. So it's not a case that you just are getting thing. You got to pay dues. You have to pay dues. Anyway, look, guys, it's Thursday. I'm asking persons in the diaspora to take some time to understand what's happening in this country. Don't approach the situation from a political point of view. Approach it from the stance. Sorry, I can't continue. Hold on. J-Tech is one who said people really suffering in Guyana. Like I said, things may not be where we want it to be. But Jay, your next video, and mind you, brother, me, you got no problem, right? You gave some points. I am assessing your video. I'm hoping that you do an assessment of this and share a rebuttal. You understand? I am asking you, Jay, to do a video. And mind you, me saying they got people in Guyana that's suffering, right? Me saying they got people in Guyana that's suffering. But ask yourself why. Why? Yourself available to opportunities that were available to you. You make some bad decisions. You are not taking the time to correct those bad decisions. Because this is what I'll say to Jay. If you're saying that there are poor people here who can't find work, I am saying BS. There's a ton of work out there. It mightn't be the job you want, but you're able to earn so that you can survive. Now, I am saying, G, if people want big fancy jobs, everybody knows it's got big fancy cartage. Right? That's always go. You, Jay, would have invested your time into learning whatever you do in terms of technology. I see it's J-Tech, so I figure you got some technology store or something. You take the time to learn that so that you could have an income, so that you could live the life you want. You're trying to tell me persons who are squatting, persons who claim, well, I ain't got no work, I ain't got no money, they don't know about the free courses offered by the government, courses to upgrade themselves. Everybody may not be academically inclined, but they got TVET courses too. Or is it the case where you don't want to use your brain and you don't want to use your hand too? Jay, I'd like you to make a video of these people that you claim are suffering in Guyana and tell their story so we understand how they got there. Me saying put the people business, the poor business, but give us an understanding. You're squatting here, you claim you're suffering or whatever it is. How you end up here? You're working? How is it that you're not able to rent an apartment? And mind you, I know rent is a terrible thing in this country right now, with how landlords are operating. Not all are bad. Not all are bad. But we have to understand these things. Everybody in this world is in charge of how they progress. Everybody. So if you don't make provisions for certain things, I don't know how you expect them to happen. Right? I don't know how you expect them to happen. I often see these stories with persons. I'll tell you all a story about a magistrate. I ain't gonna call her name. I frighten them, they just lock you up. I used to go to IBC on Thomas Street, and people who went to that school or know me or know, they might know who I'm talking about. Right? I went to that school and there was a young lady there. You could tell she didn't come from a rich home or a middle class school. Things tight. Things were tight. Right? The appearance wasn't always the best at school. You could tell, well, things tight. Mind you, IBC, they're still around. I don't think they're still around. IBC was a private school. So her parents, despite the tightness, were doing whatever they had to do to ensure that their daughter didn't go through what they had to go through to bring her up. Now, understand this. This young lady went to school and then after school would go and help her parents. On the weekend, every weekend, she used to sell newspapers at the corner of Thomas and Church Street, right at the bridge there, every weekend. Today, that young lady is a magistrate. Somebody saying no sound. The refresh your praise our fan I'll slat. Refresh. Right? That young lady is a magistrate. They had a guy, this same guy in his villain thing, and this is not attacking him. I just showing persons that if you want to change your circumstance, you can. Right? There's a guy, somebody tell me about some sour greens I used to sell. Right? Somebody tell me about some sour greens I used to sell. But here's what I'm trying to tell you. There's a guy that I knew in high school. No, I didn't know him in high school. We were in high school at the same time. But I think he was in Bishops or something like that. And the guy lost his way a little bit. He got involved in drugs, not selling drugs, using drugs. And I would often see him on the market asking for work, like fetching things for people and trying to, get little money. I'm looking for, matter of fact, I ain't gonna show you photo. That guy today has turned around his life. He's not on drugs anymore. He's not walking around the market like a junkie. Very muscular and built and doing something positive. So my point is, if you came on hard times coming up, there are things that you can do to change your story. So if you're suffering right now, what is your plan to alleviate the suffering off of you? How are you planning to change that? What are you doing to change that? And that is what I want J-Tech to ask them as well. Oh, you're suffering. Yes, things hard in Guyana. I ain't got money to cook. I ain't got this. I ain't got that. I can't find work. But also ask them, when last you sent out an application? What is your plan to change this current situation that you're in? How do you plan to ensure that your children who you got here with you, their circumstances change? What are you doing? Guys, I out of here. Y'all have a wonderful day. I'll see you here tomorrow. We should have an interview tomorrow. It's not confirmed, so I'm not going to say who the person is as yet. But once that's confirmed, we'll share it on Facebook and we'll have a talk with that individual. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being good Guyanese. And as I usually say, before I go, it's all about peace. It's all about love.
We are a peaceful people, struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. This land is all I know. We're gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow, but never break. Our fathers came here, and they lived and died here, and we ain't moving nowhere, make no mistake. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no trees.